And we're live.
Hello, Morgan. How are you? Happy Tuesday. Tuesday
Happy
Night Live.
Tuesday.
Happy Fat Tuesday. Tuesday Night Live. It's Fat Tuesday. Where's Jimmy?
He's doing
Is
whatever
there a coincidence here?
He's doing whatever people in New Orleans do on Fat Tuesday, evidently.
Exactly, and that's a good thing for him. And I hope he's having a ball
Yeah.
doing that. And we need to share this couple of places, so bear with us while we do that.
Yep.
We're gonna skip the intro tonight. We're gonna come up with a cooler song for next time.
Yeah, Facebook has been muting the intro on the replay. So
yeah, which makes it a little,
a little sad for other people.
Sad. But it's okay.
If you guys could share, that's what we are doing now.
Hopefully everybody's good. It was a good week. There's lots of things happening.
Yeah.
Good thing.
I feel like there's always news. It was a little bit slower news-wise, but I feel like there was a reason, and we'll get into that here in a minute. But I didn't have as much stuff to post and get out for our website.
But we had enough to start.
Oh yeah,
get some things out.
We got plenty. We got plenty to talk about. There's no.
That's exactly right.
There's no problem with that. So like I said, if you guys can go ahead and share, that's what I am doing now. So I am not ignoring you guys. I'm just sharing.
Yeah, that's usually what we do when that stuff is running. So that's kind of cool.
And like I said, we do like the intro. We do like playing it for you guys.
Hey, and we'll come back and we'll fix that next time. Hello, David in Indianapolis.
David. Hey, Jennifer.
Sarasota. I think Sarasota might be one of the only places around without snow. The whole country's got snow on the ground right now, right?
I don't have snow.
Hi, Chris. You don't? Oh, no. Wow. See, I just assumed that you would.
No, it's been raining for I think like 3 or 4 days. Today's the first day we didn't get rain. So there's that.
That's good.
So yeah.
That's good.
So yeah, I'm just
Disney's investor quarterly conference was earlier this week. No, late last week. It was between the last Tuesday and tonight. That's when it was.
Yep. So let's talk about the call because there's some
interesting things.
Some intros, some things worth mentioning.
Yeah, the direct-to-consumer push obviously continues.
Yeah.
95 million subscribers to streaming services. How about that? That is huge.
That is
when you think about that for a second. That puts them ahead of their projections that they originally had. And, of course, the timing for that was pretty interesting with COVID. Disney Plus, pretty cool. Soul brought in $100 million globally in box office.
Have you seen that yet?
I have. I saw it Christmas Day. I thought that was pretty cool coming out on Christmas Day. In fact, somebody asked them, it is icky in the Berg, that's for sure. Hi, Kathy. Disney mentioned that, Iger was asked by one of the investors that the question, the analysts, how that went, what they thought of Soul, what they thought of the plans for Raya and the Last Dragon. Did they expect it to get more? And basically, Bob said it's all about choice. It's about giving their customers the right choice so that they can provide everything they need. They can choose. Do you want to watch it at home? Do you want to watch it in a movie theater? We're going to let you do both on the same day for Raya and the Last Dragon, and we'll see how that was.
And that's what's so cool is, and me and my boyfriend were talking about it. We, before COVID, loved going to the movie theater. We had the AMC Stubs Pass where, you could do 3 movies a week for a monthly fee. So we were big time movie goers. And it's a matter of, do we want to get back that movie experience? And in our case, pay less because it's just the two of us. Or do we want to go ahead and pay the, $30-$40? I forgot how much Mulan was. To just have access to it, early access on our Disney Plus. And we're kind of on the middle ground. Now, I mean, you have more than 2 people in your household, so it might make more sense for you guys to just do
We'll get back to Disney Plus later because I want to ask you some questions about that. I did do a little bit of homework.
Okay.
Which was good. Walt Disney World is still at 35% capacity. Chapek reiterated that. That's where they plan on staying. He reiterated that Epcot transformation is still happening, and we talked about this last week. Remy and Guardians are both going to open this year, along with Harmonious. He didn't say any timelines at all, but he reiterated that that was going to be happening, bringing more Disney to Epcot, more Disney, more family, more magic. That's the theme that's been consistent for 5 years when it comes to Epcot.
Yep.
And he also reiterated that the Star Cruiser, the Star Wars Hotel, which isn't a hotel, it's a cruise ship that you go on for a 2-day itinerary, is going to blow people away, and it'll be nothing like anything that Disney has ever done before.
Are you ready to make your reservations?
I am, but I'm afraid to see what the sticker price is going to be.
I think we're all
talking. We're talking cruise ship itinerary prices. I really think that's what you're going to see.
Yeah,
what would you pay? What would you pay for a 3-day Disney cruise? I think that's what you're going to pay to stay at the Star Wars Hotel for 3 days.
And you figure a 3-day Disney cruise minimum is probably $3,000 per person.
I am
pulling a number out of my head. Don't directly quote me on that, guys.
But this is not going to be an inexpensive experience.
No.
And I think we talked about it before. It's going to be an experience where it's part of a bigger Disney vacation, where maybe you go to a different resort for 5 days, and then you go to the Star Wars Hotel for a 2-day itinerary where you're immersed in Star Wars.
Yep.
Because what we know you're not going to do is get up in the Star Cruiser, get a bus, and go to Magic Kingdom. That's not the plan. What you're going to do is get up and live your adventure, live your itinerary, and be part of the Star Wars experience. And you're going to take your shuttle that takes you from the hotel down to Batuu. And when you're on Batuu, you're going to go through your mission for the day, and you have to meet people, and you have to earn credits, and you got to talk to different people, and you're going to be immersed in the story.
Yep.
And if you're a Star Wars fan, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And which, by the way, he also mentioned that the Marvel Academy, not the Marvel Academy, what are they calling it? Yeah.
Avengers Campus.
Avengers Campus is still on track to open later this year in Disneyland.
Yep.
But they don't know. That's over California Adventure. And, they still don't know when Disneyland is going to open. In fact, I did make a note that they do not expect Disneyland or Disneyland Paris to open in their second fiscal quarter, but they do expect Hong Kong to open back up. So that's good. That's a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Step in the right direction.
Yeah.
And Jennifer, it does sound awesome. I don't know what you're referring to, Avengers Campus or the Star Wars Hotel, but if you're a Star Wars fan, holy cow, which I am, you can tell by what's behind me, and it's going to be just incredible to go through that.
I'm wearing
Indianapolis in the house.
Star Wars.
I see that. Jersey. Is it a Spirit jersey, Morgan? Another one?
Of course, it's a Spirit jersey.
I expected that to be the case. Some other news, not from the conference call, but things that we heard. The TTC, the Epcot monorail is running. No people on it yet, but it's running, and that's a good thing because that has been closed.
Yep.
The friendship boats are back too. That's a step in the right direction.
Yeah. Which honestly, I don't know about you, but I have a favorite mode of transportation depending on what park I'm going to.
And where you stay.
And where I'm staying.
Right.
If I can do a friendship boat, I will do a friendship boat because
all day long.
Yeah. Especially if you're doing Epcot and you're staying in that boardwalk, yacht and beach, swan and dolphin area, or just And honestly, it's probably a tie if I want to do Epcot to Hollywood between now Skyliner or Friendship Boat. But Friendship Boat is still probably one of my favorite modes of transit. I think bus is the only thing I try to avoid if I can, just because.
Yeah, absolutely. So Susan and I do the same thing. And in fact, the Epcot resort area is absolutely my favorite. And the Friendship Boats is part of the reason.
Yeah.
And it's the friendship boats. And even when you had little ones, the fact that you could wheel a stroller from the elevator straight down, right onto a friendship boat and never have to fold it up. Oh, so great.
Oh, yeah.
We don't have a stroller anymore, but Audie, by the way, I have a question for you, buddy.
Is it ice cream related?
It's ice cream and king cake related. Can you combine those? And have you done it? And what's the right way to do it? Because I got to tell you, I'm a fan. I always have been. Jimmy hooked us up with some real king cake. Thank you very much, Jimmy and Kim and Ian.
Yep.
Love it. And do I put ice cream on that or not? Audie, let me know what you think. Or anybody else. If you haven't had real king cake,
Yeah.
it's Fat Tuesday, and it's well worth it.
So as you guys know, Jimmy's from New Orleans. He and his wife and his good friend Ian were very, very, very gracious enough to surprise us and send both of our families king cake, authentic New Orleans king cake.
Which I had once before in my life, authentic from New Orleans, from the, at least I think it was. Audie, you can tell me if I'm wrong.
There is
king cake ice cream. Oh my gosh.
I need that scent on dry ice. But actually,
I need to know about that, Audie.
the little brochure that came with the king cake, my mom read it and wanted to bug Jimmy and ask him why he didn't send the rum. There's like a rum now. So I don't know if that's
all right. So
thing.
I see anyway. Tina's got a comment there, and I will tell you, Tina, it's not the same. It's not the same king cake that you get in New Orleans. It's more of a cinnamon roll pastry. I've had it before. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I'm going to tell you, when I saw that it was at the local grocery store here in Western Pennsylvania, which is Giant Eagle, I got one and tried it, and I thought this is nowhere like the king cake that I had at the New Orleans, the Mardi Gras World is where I had it. Yeah, which is a tourist attraction there, where you get to see all the floats, and it wasn't Mardi Gras, but it was so good there, and it's different. It's good.
So
it's kind of like someone in New Orleans saying they have a Primanti like sandwich with French fries on it. It's not Primanti's. It's not, but it's.
So Gerald says Randazzo's. Is that a restaurant? I don't.
That sounds like a bakery.
Yeah. Audie says we can put vanilla ice cream on it. I wish I would have thought about this before because the king cake's gone in my house.
It doesn't take long. Well, you're supposed to eat it before Ash Wednesday, right?
I don't know.
King cake ice cream is Bluebell. Thank you, Chris. I gotta find that because if it's Bluebell, I know I can get that up here. I'll look for it.
King cake lasted 24 hours in my house.
Yes, and yes, Audie, you can order them, and you know what? The Gold Belly has been a favorite of mine here.
I don't
think they have king cake, but if you go over to Port Orleans, what's the treat they have over there, Morgan? I know you get it. Beignets, yes.
And actually, over the last couple of years, they're not just basic square beignets; they are now Mickey-shaped beignets. And if you go over to Scat Cat, you can actually get alcohol-infused beignets.
Those are good. That's another. Yeah, I give you. If anywhere would have king cake, it would be at Port Orleans today, because they used to. They're not open right now, but they used to do the Mardi Gras parade.
They actually, right? I think they still did the Mardi Gras parade because I saw videos of it online for this year. So I don't know if one of the resorts is open or
not sure. Darn it, Mike, watching over on YouTube. You can't get it up here, he says.
That
the Pens are playing right now, by the way. Don't tell me what's going on. I know that's happening.
All right. So yeah, Audie says one of the best. I don't know the name of the bakery that Jimmy sent. I mean, I
don't remember. It's on the box. It was good. It was good.
Yeah.
It was good. And I thank him for it. And I love it.
My first king cake, I approved. I didn't get the baby. That was the only flaw.
Be careful of that. Watch the baby.
Yeah.
Don't choke on the baby.
Didn't choke on the baby. Baby was not inhaled by anybody in my family. My boyfriend got the baby, which I guess is okay because if he gets good luck, hopefully I can, get some of it.
That is good.
So yeah. All right.
What else did we learn this week? Some hours are extending. I don't know if you noticed that in the theme parks. Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom are extending later into the night. And on the flip side, Hollywood Studios and Epcot are opening earlier in the morning. So I thought that was interesting.
If you think about it, though, everybody wants to rush over to Hollywood because that's 7 a.m. They've gotten their boarding pass for Rise of Resistance. So, they're going to get their Hollywood and Galactic, Galaxy's Edge fix over with in the morning. And they'll hop over to Animal Kingdom or Magic Kingdom. Same with Epcot. People are probably, rush over to Epcot and do their arts festival and then here eventually Flower and Garden. And it used to be really, really nice to spend the whole day and evening at Epcot. And now they might be like, well, let's go over to Magic Kingdom. Let's go see the animals, something. So, but yeah, I think that's probably. I mean, without fireworks, it's so hard to decide where you're going to spend your evening now that you can park hop again.
That is absolutely right. And I don't know what the answer to that is because of that. Because typically I would plan my days around the evening fireworks. But here's the cool thing. If Bob Chapek just said that Harmonious is going to be happening in 2021, remember, October the 1st, 2021 is Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary. And that's what this was all about, the big 5-0. And that said, when's it going to happen? How are they going to do it? Which, by the way, Universal is doing fireworks down the street. So they got it figured out. They got marks on the floor where you stand on the ground. If you're 35% capacity, can you pull that off? I don't know, but I hope it's coming soon.
And to my understanding, I mean, I have not went to Universal in November. That's the first trip I've done in like 5-6 years. I've never actually watched fireworks at Universal. But to my understanding, last time I read their fireworks, it's in a big enough area so they can social distance. It's not an issue. So that makes me wonder, okay, you're going to do Harmonious. Have you figured out a way to do Magic Kingdom, how bring back Happily Ever After?
I get it. I'm with you.
I feel like that one's going to be the harder one.
Well, it is. And you bring up a good point, Morgan, because at World Showcase, you're all around World Showcase.
Yeah.
Magic Kingdom, everyone wants to be on Main Street.
Everyone wants to be, because they want that view
in the
of
hub.
the castle.
Or in the hub. Yeah. Well, because you got projections on the castle and it looks beautiful.
Yeah. So,
That's
I mean,
exactly right.
Have they figured out a way, or are they going to bring back fireworks and just not do projections? So you could be in Fantasyland and still see the fireworks, or, Liberty Square or somewhere and still see the fireworks, no problem.
Yeah.
And then that also leads, how do you do Hollywood Studios? And are you going to bring back Rivers of Light, Animal Kingdom? Are we finally getting our nighttime shows back?
Yeah, I'm with you. I see Mike's other comment there. Ratatouille will make Epcot more crowded. Absolutely it will. And I think that's what they're waiting for. In fact, we anticipated that Ratatouille was going to be open this past May is when we thought it would open.
Yeah.
And here we are, February. It's not open. I was in it as part of a media event, and I got to see the inside. And even then, this was over a year ago, the inside of that place is ready to roll. Yeah. And the last pictures we saw from inside it, the people did not have hard hats on, which tells me it's not a construction zone anymore. Because usually when you see pictures of Disney staff members inside of a construction zone, they have the hard hat on that says Disney Imagineering on it, and they did not. So it's ready. It's a matter of, how do you open a new attraction when you're social distanced? I don't know.
Yeah, and then our friend Michelle over at the Main Street Mouse actually did a live feed of walking around. See, right now you can actually walk around to the back where there's a new bathroom,
new restroom,
but the ride part is still walled off. And you could essentially put your phone up and, try to take a picture and see what's going on. So there's no visible signs of construction.
No, I think it's done. Yeah, I do. I think it's logistics, it's timing. It's how do you out. Well, I think that's even done. I mean, I think it's a simple question of, how do you open a new attraction that's going to draw everyone locally that wants to be the first to do? How do you do that in the age of COVID? I don't know the answer. I really don't.
I mean, without bringing back fast passes, the only thing I can think of is,
which is not back yet.
No, but they could do a boarding pass like they're doing with Rise of Resistance.
You got to wonder if you're going to see more virtual queues like that around the parks in general.
Yeah.
Especially now with Rise of Resistance, where you can get your boarding group from your hotel at 7:00 in the morning. The only thing you have to have is a pass for that day.
Yep. Mike, the Creperie, I guess that's the right pronunciation.
I think that's, which is back along,
That's back along the queue, the route of Ratatouille, so it is still walled off. Again, it looks ready to open, but
Got to be ready to open.
I think that that's not going to open until Ratatouille opens, because I think
it's the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they can't open that without opening the ride. Just how the queue is, I believe.
Yeah.
But hopefully soon, because I've tried to make crepes and it did not go very well. So I rather buy my crepes.
What else did they announce? They also announced a whole bunch of new dining not dining packages.
No dining.
A whole bunch of new vacation packages for 2022. I think I got our website up there if you want to talk to Morgan, but you're perfect, you and Jimmy, to talk to this. So what exactly did these guys announce earlier today?
So if you guys did not hear yet, 2022 packages are open. And this is actually a little earlier than they normally do it. Because basically, they say it right off the bat is, they're ready for you guys to start planning your vacations for next year. If you don't feel comfortable going this year, then let's plan them for next year. It is still, you cannot book 500 days out. So you cannot book December of 2022, but you can book up to 500 days out. And go ahead and get that room booked, those tickets booked, whatever you need booked. There is no dining plan. There is no announcement of dining plan, because I know a lot of people are anxiously awaiting that.
I don't think you're going to see dining plan in 2022. I really don't.
I think
it's an availability issue. I think it really is an availability issue, because you want to make sure you get people signed up to a dining plan. You want to make sure you can feed them and they can get the reservations they need. Yep. I think that's the challenge.
Now, I mean, they want you to remember that not all the resorts are open. So these packages are based on the resorts that are opened or are scheduled to be opened. So, for example, if you pick the Poly, which is scheduled to open this summer, and for some reason construction gets delayed and you can't go to the Poly, what they'll do is they'll actually reach out to you or your Disney travel agent. Like, I do work for Jimmy, so Jimmy is your official travel agent, and I do work for him. They will reach out to you or your travel agent and give you the option of switching. You can go to another deluxe resort. You can downgrade if you want to downgrade. You can upgrade if there's an upgrade option. Like, perfect example is the meetup last year. Our value resort was supposed to be All-Star Movies. All-Star Movies is not open. So we got upgraded to Art of Animation, which was awesome for
That's pretty cool.
Anybody that came to the meetup in November.
That's an upgrade, baby. I like that.
That's a major upgrade. I mean, even the Little Mermaid room, the theming is just fun. But if you paid for an upgraded room for movies, you actually got put into the car suite. And that's, me and Jimmy both had car suites. Awesome experience. First time I got to stay at Art of Animation. It was really cool.
Sorry about that. Didn't mean to do that.
But they also want to make sure that you guys are aware. I didn't put it in the post just because we already know this. We're already sad about it. But Magical Express will not be there in 2022.
Yeah, so, we know that. We've heard that one.
Yeah, just kind of keep that in mind. But yeah, if you guys are like, I'm tired of waiting, 2022 should be okay. I feel safe going in 2022, and you want to book, reach out to Jimmy or, of course, myself, and we will get you booked, and we will get you all taken care of for 2022, or just go this year.
Yeah,
either year we can help you.
It's there. So 2022, we know that they will be doing the park pass system, which Audie's talking about here.
Yep.
We know that for sure through the end of 2022. We've also heard that they may be doing it through 2023. No official word from Disney, but this is the reservation system where you go in and tell Disney what park you're going to go to first.
Yep.
And that may be just a way of doing it here.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Mike asks, will mobile food ordering become the normal? Honestly, yes. I think it will be. It was around, but you got to remember, this was around before COVID. They kind of,
It was awesome before COVID, and it was a
yes.
nerd's insider trick because nobody would use it, and you could use your mobile ordering, for
And
example,
now it's pretty
in
much mandatory.
now it's pretty much mandatory. But for
Yeah.
example, in America, you could do the mobile order, get a Yingling waiting for you back there that was a full size, and just go back and pick it up. Or not that I would only do it for that. I mean, you could get food too, but mobile order is definitely the
Wait,
place
there's
to go.
food there?
Yeah. There's food, especially back at Sam's place.
Yeah. Oh, that
Sam the Eagles barbecue. Absolutely.
You know, one thing I never checked in November is that Buffalo Trace float that was like the Coke float with Buffalo Trace in it. I didn't check and see if they still have it back there now that it's the Regal Eagle.
I'm not sure. Well, they might have it at the bar outside now, because in America they got the full bar right outside. I bet they have it there. I'm pretty sure they'd have Trace there.
That was
all right.
So good.
We had,
but yeah, mobile ordering is going to be the new normal. Even for perfect example, when we had our meetup in November and Saturday was our scavenger hunt in Hollywood Studios, me, Jimmy, and his wife Kim went to go have lunch while I was doing the scavenger hunt. Went to ABC Commissary. We had to mobile order. They actually wouldn't let you inside until your order was ready and then you could then sit down. So that part might go away once, everything gets back to normal. Like, you can still go into ABC Commissary because there's all this great seating. But for right now, you basically can't go into dining areas, even the Art of Animation food court. If you didn't make the mobile reservation, you couldn't go in and get your food unless your food was ordered and ready.
Yeah.
The only stipulation of that was if you had an allergy and you have to talk to a chef. So.
Yep. I think, head down there, Kathy. Absolutely. That's what you should do.
Yeah, definitely reach out to him, especially, hey, why don't you bump it from late November to early November and come to the meetup?
Come to the meetup. That's right. That's exactly right. It's 2022. There you go, Dave.
Yep.
Hey, Morgan, there was a blog post we put up there about some kind of shoe. Tell me about this thing.
New shoes, new merch. I get excited over the merch. Like, it's not like I'm going to go buy it. I just get excited about it because it's just like, what are they going to think up next? So this is the latest and greatest trend. They are
Disney X Native. That's
okay. So Native Shoes are the brand. So they have collaborated with Disney to do these Disney prints on their shoes. And I'm going to describe it the exact way that I described it to Sam before we jumped on the show. Think of if Crocs and Converse had a baby. Those are Native shoes. So they are still that kind of rubbery foam that you're used to on Crocs, but they look like more of like a shoe. And the company actually has a really great philosophy. They are trying to be a very sustainable company, which is great because Disney is trying to, become why can I not say sustainable today? So yeah, these are just they're lightweight. Sam actually said a good thing before the show. He said, "Don't step in a puddle."
Yeah, don't step in a puddle. It looks like the old. I could see them. Oh man, were they Crocs? Where Disney sold the little things that you pushed into your shoe, and it had the little. I remember buying those for my daughter, and they were lost 2 days later. The shoe charms, they were lost. Didn't take long at all.
And you see, they're on the side, they're on the front, like these little poles for breathability are all over. So the shoe charms that you got for your Crocs could very well fit on these shoes. And these are the kids' shoes. They might.
That's the kid shoe. That's
the Minnie Mouse.
Minnie, and there's a Mickey too. So Mickey's cool. I like the Mickey there.
So yeah, I'm not saying I'm gonna run out and buy a pair, but I like the new merch. I always think it's really cool merch. Just like the new Mios, the new little stuffed animal plush that came out that you can style and dress.
Yeah. Jibbits. I think you're right, Mike. I remember calling them that. Jibbits. Yeah. That's what they were.
But I think because that's probably the brand name, Jibbits. But I think everybody calls them shoe charms because there's.
I just remember they cost me money and they were lost in 2 days.
Yeah.
That's what I remember about them. But that's that's when you give them to a 6-year-old girl that was running around all over jumping in puddles. But that's okay.
Yeah. But see,
I'd do it all over again if I could.
you remember how they were also that style for your Magic Band? You could do those charms in their
Yes.
same kind of
Yes,
style.
I do. I
I bought
do.
a Haunted Mansion set and lost 2 of them the first day, and I was like, there goes my $15.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
So
They used to have them with pins too, and you'd have to get the pin locks to put on the back and stuff like that.
yeah, which I'd buy the locks and everything like that. So
Yeah. Exactly.
So yeah. So we got new merch, we got vacation packages. But since we're talking vacation packages, do you guys have any questions about vacation packages? Like what's going on with everything? Now's a great time to ask since they released 2022. They just did the phone call that we talked about where we now know this is how the parks are going to be through this year and into next year.
Yeah, and I don't know if I mentioned it while we were on the show, but Bob Chapek said for sure that they expect to have social distancing and masks through the remainder of 2021 in the parks, unless they get any other information from Dr. Fauci or whoever it is that runs that. But they're anticipating they need them the rest of the year. So that's normal for 2021.
So Lisa, vacation packages, when we say vacation packages, that's what Disney calls when you book your room, your tickets, and when dining plans were available, kind of package them all together. So that's what we mean when we say vacation packages is even if it's just a room stay, they still sometimes call them vacation packages. Basically, your Disney vacation and all that may come with it, the tickets and or the room and or the dining package, which of course is not there right now. We do not have any idea when dining plans are going to return. We were just talking about that we think it's kind of more of an availability thing. And with social distancing and things like that right now, it's really hard to roll out a dining plan with everything that's going on. One thing I've actually been telling my clients is tips and tricks to try to budget beforehand. A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll go out and they'll go ahead and buy Disney gift cards while they're at home. And okay, this $25 is going for our dining fund. So,
yep. Or 100 Sam's Club, you can save a little bit.
Yeah.
If you have a place nearby where you can get, the warehouse clubs will sell them at a discount. And if you have a local grocery store that maybe gets points for gasoline, I'm thinking fuel perks for those talking Giant Eagle earlier locally.
Yep. So, there's tips and tricks to help with the budgeting. Dining planning was awesome. I honestly didn't do it all the time because I had Tables in Wonderland, and my Tables in Wonderland, of course, has expired. You had the option of like, okay, I've already paid for this, and this. I know when I did the dining plan, I actually went to buffets and more of the bigger ticket restaurants to try to get my money's worth out of the dining plan. So, Lisa, found out about Amazon Prime. Yeah, Amazon Prime. You can ship that stuff to your resorts. Now, I do want to mention that is becoming a big thing with Disney. Disney is getting a lot of packages for their guests. The secret has been the cat's been let out of the bag.
Absolutely.
So as of right now, yes, you can place an Amazon order, have it sent to your resort for diapers or non-perishables, just, stuff that you're going to need throughout your trip. But don't be surprised if in the future that is going to be taken away or you're going to be charged for it in some way.
There'll be a delivery fee. Swan and Dolphin have already jumped on that. That's a Marriott. And I guess there's a couple of things to sit back and kind of think of. As much as we love to think that Disney's the leader and they're doing everything first, in a lot of cases, they're following the hotel industry.
Yep.
Right. The whole RFID thing to open your room and open the door and use your Magic Band.
Or your phone.
Right. Marriott's been doing that for a long time. Yep. Hilton's been doing that for a long time. That's not new. And those hotels have for quite some time charged a delivery fee if you get a package. It
Yep.
costs you $3 just for that package to land. I'm not saying Disney's going to do that, but I'm going to say as the number of packages increase and they're paying people to sort this stuff and go through it, it's not a matter of 2 or 3 packages showing up. It's a matter of 50 packages showing up and it's taking time to sort them.
Yeah.
And there might be a fee at some point, but for now, Amazon Prime's awesome.
Yeah.
And I've won auctions on eBay for pins and had them ship them to my room before because my kids ran out of pins, needed some scrappers.
So, I mean, I would definitely keep an eye out on that. I would also maybe utilize Instacart to do your grocery shopping or other third parties where they are actually going to deliver to you to your room and kind of bypass Bell Services altogether. I mean, I've seen Bell Services, like those doors have been open and I've seen like a mountain of Amazon boxes. So that's why I say eventually I feel like there's going to be a charge for that. So Tina then asked, yes. Everywhere, every Disney restaurant.
Every Disney-owned restaurant, which are pretty much all of them in Walt Disney World. But here's the trick that I would do, because I'll tell you that carrying a stack of $25 gift cards becomes cumbersome. Although you can get a $500 gift card at Giant Eagle or other places, by the way. Or you get the $500 gift card at Sam's Club, and it costs you $470 or something like that.
Yeah.
What I have done in the past,
that seems to be a more accessible outside
I completely understand that, but here's what I would do and what I have done, especially for staying at a Disney resort. You charge everything back to your room. Everything comes back to your room charge, and what you do is during your trip you head down to the front desk and you apply those gift cards to your room balance.
That's a great idea.
And that's what I've done. Then I can keep those cards in the safe. I don't have to worry about carrying them around. Or what they won't let you do is get a credit balance on your room. So they won't let you apply them when you check in. You have to get some charges onto your room first, and then you show up and apply all those cards. And so if you take 4 $500 gift cards, which by the way translates into Visa points on your Disney Visa card, it translates into grocery store points, it translates into credit card points, whatever it is that you're doing, and then you apply those. That's one way of saving some money in the whole process, and I've done that many times.
I mean, a great thing that me and my mom did is we saved all of our points on the Disney Visa for our trip.
Yes.
Cashed them out, and that was for November. So that was food and wine. And that was fun to just use that, our Disney points, and be able to get our food and wine snacks.
Yep, absolutely. You could do that. So there's a lot of ways of doing it, but I also found it's handy to have a Sharpie to write on it the balance if you're going to carry it around. Because if you have 4 $50 gift cards in your pocket or 4 $25s and you start using them for food and wine, you're going to get them mixed up because they're all exactly the same. The number's different, but who's going to remember?
Didn't you number yours one year? Or was that Jimmy?
It might have been Jimmy, but it gets confusing. Of what has a balance and what doesn't. And then you end up at the end of the day. Now you can go to, I think it's DisneyGiftCards.com and put in the number and they'll tell you the balance.
Yeah.
But you end up with a card that's got, $1.25 on it and a card that's got 75 cents on it. And versus just throw it on the room and then take it down to the room.
And also I would think that with now that they're trying to be like no contact as far as your hotel check-in and stuff like that, you could probably even, when you get back to your room at the end of the night, call the front desk and apply the gift card.
You'll be able to do that too, just because they're trying that cashless or the touchless.
Because I mean, I didn't even go to the front desk at all.
I can fill up my car with gas with fuel points every time I do it.
Yep.
There you go. You need that Sharpie.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's a great idea. Like, I definitely have been telling my clients that now there's no dining plan is check out doing the gift cards, especially to get the points on your credit card, get fuel points. If you have Sam's Club or BJ's or Costco, get that however much percentage off of the cards.
Right.
So, I mean, my parents just got a Costco membership, so I will probably be doing that myself.
That's right.
So yeah. So there's
Field
all these
parks.
little tips and tricks. And
There is. That's all part of the planning, and getting
yeah,
the package, by the way, is too, because if you're booking that package and you're not an annual pass holder, you can include tickets, and you're going to get I think right now, are they still doing you buy 5 days and you get 2 free or something like that? I'm not even sure what
I think if it hasn't ended, it's about to end.
and something else will come up. Yeah.
And that's another thing is if you guys go through now, you guys, of course, are Disney nerds. You're watching us here. You guys, especially a lot of you come here every single week. So you know how to book your own vacation. But having a Disney travel agent, a Disney vacation planner, if you book your trip and a promo comes around that you would qualify for, but you've missed it just because life has gotten hectic and gotten in the way. That's me and Jimmy's job, is to kind of shoot you an email or give you a call and be like, hey, your trip, there's now a promo. So I'm going to go switch it for you and you're going to save X amount of dollars. Like I just had a client who went in January. She booked when there wasn't a special. There then became a special. She not only saved money, but she was staying at the Caribbean. She went from a basic room to a water view room and still saved money.
Beautiful. And that's why, number one, you want to use a travel agent.
Yep.
Number two, you want to use a Disney nerd, because Morgan and Jimmy are going to have your back for the whole thing. That's for sure.
So we try to take as much off your plate. Now, I know, our co-host Lisa books through Jimmy all the time, and she just has Jimmy book the trip because she can do all the other planning. She knows what restaurants that she wants to eat in. You guys as Disney nerds, you might not need me or Jimmy to book you, help you with booking the restaurants and doing the park reservations and all that stuff. And that's perfectly fine. But we also, on the flip side, will help you if you do want that help. That's right. I can't speak as much for Jimmy because I feel like I'm a little bit more of a foodie than Jimmy is. But I can usually tell people, oh yeah, I've eaten there, and yeah, that's great. Or no, don't do that, and blah blah blah. So I mean,
we'll leave that there. I won't go down that. What's up with the electric cars and the whole Chevy commercial thing?
So if you guys watch the Super Bowl, there was, if I'm not mistaken, a teaser. I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I'm sorry.
I watched the commercials.
Yeah, I didn't watch anything.
No, I was fine with it.
Steelers weren't there. Why would I watch?
I trust me. I understand.
Yeah. But Chevy's introducing an electric car, and their commercials are going to feature Disney characters that we know from the parks.
Like the Hitchhiking Ghosts. How cool is that?
And the picture has the Hitchhiking Ghosts on a teacup ride. I'm like, wait, the Hitchhiking?
Yeah. Which, by the way, that's the Bolt. Is the Bolt the car that's inside Test Track right at the beginning?
I don't know, because I feel like they switch that car every once in a while.
Yeah, I think that I think they do, but for a while there, it was a Bolt early on.
Yeah,
I do remember that.
So it could very well cool. Be a Bolt. But yeah, so I mean, how cool is that? You can be sitting there watching your shows, commercial comes on, and there's a little bit of Disney magic on that.
There's a little bit of Disney magic in there. Yeah, that's kind of cool. So, I'm good with it. You know what? They're a sponsor, so I got no problem with that. And there's the Hitchhiking Ghosts right there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about you, but I would stop and pick up the Hitchhiking Ghosts.
It looks like they just jumped right in.
Which that's true. They still sponsor, Chevy still sponsors Test Track, but I feel like they sponsored other things too, or they don't anymore.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to keep track.
It is. Sorry about that. And I jumped right to the next thing there. But this, by the way, is all at the DisneyNordsPodcast.com. But this I thought was kind of cool because we're coming up on Raya and the Last Dragon, right? And there's sand sculpture experience coming.
Yes, if you guys have ever been in the parks around this time of year, usually when Flower and Garden starts in Epcot or sometimes over at Animal Kingdom, they will do these really cool sand sculptures. For a couple of years, I know they've done one when the live action Jungle Book came out. I got to see that one. The Disney Nature Monkey Kingdom, they did one at Animal Kingdom for that. So
They used to be a big part of the Flower and Garden
Yeah.
Festival every year. And in fact, Audie earlier said he was looking at pictures from 2010. And I bet you any money there were some sand sculptures, because I can remember Disney Nature would have, right. So Disney Nature, that's before the National Geographic acquisition. But Disney Nature would always have penguins or something as a, I remember the monkeys, but that's cool. And now they moved it to Animal Kingdom. So that's awesome.
Yeah. Which honestly, like that's actually the last time I saw a sand sculpture was Monkey Kingdom, and it was at the entrance, like right at the gate at Animal Kingdom. So that was the last time that I saw a sand sculpture. But they're just really, really cool to see. So sand sculptures are back. They're of course going to
That's cool.
Feature Raya and the Last Dragon, and
Makes
not
sense.
only that. We're going to get a little Raya and the Last Dragon at the Animation Experience at Animal Kingdom.
Which the Animation Experience is back at Planet Watch. Is that right?
Over with the affection section and all
and
that.
The Animal Hospital, which, by the way, is going to take me full circle back to where I started, which was I wanted to talk about Disney Plus a little later, right? Because that goes right back to the magic of Animal Kingdom. I forget what it's called, but that is a pretty good series.
Yes, I love that series. I actually could probably watch, just like the Imagineering story when that first came out, when Disney Plus first opened.
Oh yeah, that
we all watched it multiple times.
Yes,
I could watch the Magic of Animal Kingdom multiple times.
It's good, and it shows you what really happens behind the scenes there at not only Animal Kingdom but also the Seas with Nemo, which I thought was cool.
Anything with animals. I mean, I would totally. I'm now wanting to pull up my Disney Plus and see. I want to know, is there going to be another season? I
think a lot of people were asking that. I'm not sure, but so last week on this show, when Jimmy was on, I mentioned that I was watching WandaVision and was completely lost. Had no idea what was going on.
Have you watched anything Marvel yet to try to get those?
So they told me last week to go and watch Age of Ultron.
Which did you?
So I did that last night. Susan and I watched Age of Ultron, and we need to watch the next 2 WandaVisions, but I got a little better feeling now, I think, for what's happening.
And I bet you went back and watched the other WandaVisions that you've already watched.
You might see something.
See little things like, oh, wait.
Yeah, I'm sure that's the case. Now, what I liked, and I didn't know this was there, because remember, and this was part of an experiment that I did, because I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Everybody knows that. And Mandalorian, I was all over it. I knew what was happening. So Marvel, not as much. I just never really got into that universe, but I thought I'd try it as a newbie to see if I understood what WandaVision was about. In those first 2 episodes, I got to tell you, I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
And I think part of it is, and this is the realization I came to, the Mandalorian, they introduced a brand new character that had never been in the Star Wars universe before. They put him in a universe that was new, and we were all learning about this new character. Versus WandaVision, which I thought was just a television show, is about 2 characters that have a legacy and a backstory that's already been established that people know coming in. That makes it a little different. But what I really liked in Disney Plus was that they had all of the Marvel movies in chronological order.
Yes.
Where you could watch them. And what I noticed about Age of Ultron is it was after Guardians 1 and Guardians 2, which are 2 movies that I did see. So I thought, oh, this is great. But then I watched it and there was no reference whatsoever to Guardians. So it didn't matter.
Yeah.
But I got a better understanding. So I would recommend, like Jimmy and Lisa, and I think it was you, recommended go watch Age of Ultron. Absolutely.
Yep. And
like
I said, once you watch,
I've not watched 616. I don't know what series 616 is. To me, that's Stitch. Is that Stitch? No,
that's 626.
See, that's close though.
Yeah. I have not watched 616. I have to admit, I have not done anything Marvel this week.
Is 616 a television series? Is it?
It's a documentary. I pulled it up. Here, my phone.
Oh, it's a documentary. Is it on Disney Plus?
Exploring the impact of the MCU, Marvel Comics universe.
All right, yeah, I would watch that. Absolutely.
So yeah, I do have that on my list.
What I do love about both of these franchises, Star Wars and Marvel, is how they've interconnected everything. Comic books, movies, television, novels, it all connects together. And it's an absolutely amazing testament to Bob Iger and the acquisition of those two franchises.
Yeah.
And the fact that there's so many characters in both of those universes that just can blow your mind.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so many things to get into. And it's just, wow. That's all I can say. Wow.
I mentioned last week, I did that post about reading a Haunted Mansion comic, but
Yes.
because I am a fan of Star Wars movies, a fan of Star Wars, Mandalorian, a fan of Marvel, and my boyfriend is a comic book nerd, I've gotten into the Marvel comics. Like, I'm reading Black Widow. We have a WandaVision comic book that I just haven't read yet. I have Star Wars comic books.
Right.
So, I mean, because of my fandom for the movies, I've gotten into the comic books. And of course, every month we do a post on books that fall into the...
I was waiting for someone to comment on your cat trying to get some airtime over your shoulder there.
Yeah, my cat's trying to get some attention. That's Rogue. Speaking of Marvel,
Rogue One?
Rogue.
Rogue One.
No, Rogue as in an X-Men.
Oh, see, I'm thinking Rogue One as in Cassian Andor.
Yep. So, and actually on the ottoman here is Logan as in Wolverine.
Okay, that one I did know. So
Logan and Rogue are the two X-Men, also the names of my cats. So even I have Marvel names.
There you go.
But it's kind of cool, the fandom that you get into. And I've even, as we know, we've expanded into the books because we do a post every month about...
And you guys should watch that, the book club.
Yep. Last month, what did we do last month? Last month was the Disney book, but I mean, I've been reading Star Wars books and those have been on there.
The Leia book I think is awesome. I just need time to do that stuff.
Actually, and speaking of the Leia book, I'm actually reading another book by that artist, by that author, that is still Leia, but Leia older. It's before The Force Awakens. So of course that will be
general. She's a general.
Yep. Nice. So that will be a later book club post for you guys to read. So it's just kind of cool how, even if you guys just watch the movies, especially this world of COVID that we're in, everybody, I don't think anybody's living 100% normal like they used to, going out all the time and all that. If you want to get into a new thing to expand your nerdom, I highly recommend the books and the comics. Now is a great time to get into them. Turn off Disney Plus for just a little bit.
No.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Less screen time's good.
Yeah. But also, since we are talking Disney Plus, though, I do have to mention.
What else?
Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella featuring Brandy.
Okay.
I got super excited that got put on Disney Plus.
There's a lot of cool stuff. The Muppets hit here in a couple of days, right? The 19th. Muppets season 1, 2, 3, 4, which is good, and it's great to see that because a couple of those.
Is it going to be all the seasons at once, or are they going to release?
I think they're all dropping at once, from what I read.
Gotcha.
Which, by the way, I said this on the show before. It's the first time. So seasons 3 and 4 were never released on home video, VHS, DVD, or anything like that. They were only broadcast.
Which that's what I'm excited about, because I probably have never seen them.
And it has to do with music rights.
Yeah.
And being able to get those music rights, and the way that contracts were written back in the 70s and early 80s. Yeah. You signed that performer for airing you signed Kenny Rogers for airing his Gambler when he first aired it. And here we are years later. They want to sell it on VHS or DVD. They couldn't, but they can air it again. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Star Wars books you have to recommend. There you go. Tell us about the book club and the post that you made while I look for it.
Okay. So every month, I don't have a specific date that I posted on, but every month, one of us is going to kind of do a Disney Nerd Book Club review. We're going to review some book that falls under Disney, Star Wars, or Marvel. I don't think any of us have done an actual Marvel book yet, and I haven't even found a Marvel book because it's mainly comics.
There you go. There's your
we've done a lot of Disney, a lot of Star Wars. This is the one I did in September, which is probably my favorite Star Wars book as of now that I've read. It's called Leia, Princess of Alderaan. It is by Claudia Gray. I'm reading another book by Claudia Gray right now called Bloodline, so that will be a future post on our website. This is Leia as a teenager. This is Leia at 16 years old.
Before A New Hope.
Before everything, really, if you think about it.
Yep.
So Alderaan, like, she's still on Alderaan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so Alderaan is still there. Her parents are still, she's still living with her parents. She is a teenager. She's navigating being a junior senator, working with her dad. Her parents are also kind of shying away from her, not being as interactive and talking with her. So she's wondering, like, have I done something wrong? So it's Leia as a teenager, but also an origin story for Leia. You learn where her path starts in the rebellion. So I highly recommend this. Yeah,
it's cool because and it's all part of that universe. It's all part of things that happen. They're all part of canon, and there might be a reference later somewhere where you see some of these. I know some of these books, if you read Grand Admiral Thrawn's, or listen to it, by the way, because a lot of these are also in
Audible
audio book format. Sorry, I was trying to do things at once there. They're great that the way they tie back, and you might even be able to see something in Galaxy's Edge that refers back to a book, and some of that's in the Thrawn book, other places like that. So it's good.
Okay, so Kathy, you've read Bloodline. That's what I'm reading now. And then, so yeah, definitely grab Leia. Same author, so same high quality. And if I'm not mistaken, and Sam, you'll be able to correct me, any Star Wars book that is published now is part of Star Wars canon.
Absolutely. Yes.
And they started that.
They started that shortly after the acquisition of Star Wars, when Lucas did, and essentially anything that was published before that date, and I have a great video on YouTube that gets into details, anything published before that date, they consider a legend, and everything after that date is canon. With the exception of clearly the movies are all canon, Rebels, the cartoon series, those are all canon. It had to do with all of the books and all of the comics and all of those things where Disney basically said, okay, they put in place a story group. And the story group job is to make sure all of this passes the test of the timeline and where it fits on the timeline. So they make sure that anything new is accurately depicted in the timeline of the Star Wars sagas and universe. And that's why you start to see things like when Rogue One came out and Star Wars Rebels was in the same time frame. They had the Death Troopers were in both of those things at the same time. And it was just kind of cool the way that all happens.
Kathy, I completely agree. Claudia Gray, who did Leia and did Bloodlines, which I'm reading now, is a great Star Wars author. I actually plan on reading everything that she's written Star Wars after reading Leia and now getting into Bloodlines. I read another book about Queen Amidala.
Nice.
And that is on our website. I think I did that one back in like December or January, and it wasn't as good. It was so good, like I got a little bit of info on Amidala because this started right before we see her in Star Wars 1. So it's also leads into the battle on Naboo. So you've got what we've already seen in the movies still happening in the book, and you get a little bit more detail, but it's like, I wanted more. When I finished reading that book, I wanted to know more. I felt like I could have learned more about Amidala. It was still a good book.
Claudia Gray is part of the Star Wars High Republic era and some of the stuff that's happening, which is really cool. You guys need to watch the last Womp Rat Radio to see that one.
And
that is cool stuff.
I have not gotten any of the High Republic books. Those are on my list. I do have some of the High Republic comics.
Oh, nice.
So, and again, the comics are also part of canon. So if you guys are Star Wars fans,
yes, they are. Absolutely.
Are part of
best
canon.
comic books, best comic books anywhere for a Disney nerd is the Galaxy's Edge comic series, which is a 5-part series. It talks about Han Solo coming through Galaxy's Edge. Boba Fett comes through Galaxy's Edge. It's got more on Hondo and Naka within there. It explains some of the things that are inside Doc Ondor's Den of Antiquities. I could go on and on, but we're getting late here.
And I have not read all. I've got, I think, 3 of the 5 for that series.
Yeah, they're easy reads too. They really are, and it explains inside of Doc Ondor's around the corner. There's a baby Sarlacc there, and you might just see it and think it's something, but there's a whole story behind how it got there, which is really cool. And Boba Fett was part of that story, which is even better.
Which again, this is another reason why, like, there's so many ways to expand our Disney fandom besides just TV and movies.
So all that Star Wars knowledge by the head, I don't have room in my head for Marvel knowledge. That's why I watch it as a fan and I don't get into it. And that's okay. I'm finding that I'm all right with that.
Are you worried that some of the Star Wars knowledge is going to slip out?
I am, yes. Yes, I am. And I can't let that happen. So
yeah.
Although there are some crossover things that I know Ed and I have talked about in the past, and we'll probably do a Womp Rat Radio on that at some point, because there are a couple of things that maybe one influenced the other.
Yeah.
Interesting. And I even noticed that because I'd watched Guardians of the Galaxy and the Whispering Birds that throw, and then Mandalorian does the same thing. I'm like, wait a minute. Where'd this come from? The little arrows that shoot everybody.
Yeah, I never thought about that, but yeah.
Right. So what we did is we started to say, okay, how many other things are like that show up in both universes?
Yeah.
It's interesting idea and concept. But you know what? They're all owned by the same company, so they don't care.
But I mean, again, we can talk on and on and on. But I don't want to forget Tina's comment when I mentioned Cinderella. She's a purist. She likes Leslie and Warren. I understand that. I've seen the Leslie and Warren.
That's a Cinderella comment. Okay, I thought that was a Star Wars or
no.
Okay.
Because I got all excited because they did the Roger and Hammerstein Cinderella with Brandy. They put that on Disney Plus on Friday. I think Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella, which I say Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella because that is, in my opinion, it's a different type of Cinderella than the animated Disney Cinderella that we all know and love.
Are these all Disney or no?
The one with Brandy is, but the Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella with Leslie and Warren, and I want to say there's another version as well with a different actress as Cinderella. Those are not Disney, because I know a lot of people commented like, I don't want, why aren't they putting the other ones on Disney Plus? They're not Disney.
It's on Amazon Prime. I just did a quick lookup.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're not Disney. That's why they're not Disney Plus.
Yeah, I mean, the stories aren't necessarily Disney, but that's part of the beauty of Walt all along. Find the classic novels and bring it to the screen, and it's classic. I love it.
But I feel like for me, Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella is a generational thing, depending on who your Cinderella is in the Rodgers and Hammerstein. For me, it's Brandy. This was the 90s. So this was my Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella, and this was a Wonderful World of Disney premiere on TV. And I feel like almost like watching it now is kind of like, was this like the test subject for, can we turn our animated movies live action?
Right.
I wonder if this was like their test.
Yep.
Because the same production type, it was a musical, just like Beauty and the Beast and all these other live action remakes that they've done here lately. I feel like those would not have happened without them doing the Rodgers and Hammerstein with Brandy, and of course the late Whitney Houston as the fairy godmother. Whoopi Goldberg's the queen. I mean,
oh wow, yeah, okay.
So
see, Kathy's got a comment there about a Mandalorian book coming out in November. I'm not sure I know about the one in November. I pre-ordered the Ultimate Visual Guide. That I have coming, and I pre-ordered another one, but I don't know what's coming out in November. I have to look into it.
I was at my local Target and I did see The Art of the Mandalorian.
The Art of the Mandalorian's out. I'm waiting for the Ultimate Visual Guide, which I have pre-ordered.
I think both of the Cinderella movies are good. There's not a Cinderella movie I don't like. I like the Roger and Hammerstein, all versions that I've seen, the Leslie and Warren and the Brandy. I, of course, love the animated one, love the live action remake that they did. I have nothing bad to say. I like all of them.
I think we'll leave it.
Yeah, I'm the weirdo. Now, this is a good question. All of us as Disney nerds. If somebody comes up to you and they find out, okay, this person's a Disney nerd, and they ask you, what is your favorite Disney movie? Can you really list only one?
That's like asking me what my favorite Star Wars movie is.
Thank you.
I that's hard, man. I mean, yeah. I depends on the day, depends on the mood, yeah. Depends on the time of year, depends on lots of things.
Yeah. Like actually,
and Kathy says there's a novel. I was not aware of that, and I will look into it.
Yeah. Novel for Mandalorian or novel
Mandalorian,
for...
yeah.
Okay.
Mando, which is cool.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I've been asked. I got asked this by my comic book guy.
Oh, there it is, November 2nd, The Mandalorian original novel. That's what it's called.
Nice.
Audiobook on sale for $14.95. I'll be getting that.
Nice. But yeah, I got asked by my comic book guy, what's your favorite movie? I couldn't give him one. I got asked on TikTok by somebody commented on one of my videos, what's your favorite Disney movie? And I was like, I don't have one. This was like, I named like 50. So I just want to make sure it wasn't.
Here, I'm gonna add this very quickly before we go and see if this is what Kathy is talking about. Oh, I don't know what's going on there. Let's try that again. Let's stop that share and do that again. I don't know what happened there. All right, that's better.
It was the
that's
disco
better. Try
version.
that.
Like disco.
It was a disco version. Try that. There you go. Is that what you're talking about, Kathy? I did not know this was coming. I do now. An original novel. Cover not final. I hope that's not the final cover.
Yep. So when we get off the show, Sam is going to hit this pre-order button now.
Well, it's also available on audiobooks too. So I may very well get an audiobook for this. Yep. See, that's one of the things I miss from travel. And I used to listen to all this stuff when I traveled. Yep, that's it, right? I think that's the one you're talking about, Kevin. All right. And with that, I think we've been going over an hour here.
Yep.
Morgan.
All right. So, yep, as Sam said, we have gone over an hour. We appreciate you guys sticking around. As always, check us out on all of our social media, here on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram. Check us out on the DisneyNerdsPodcast.com. Really quickly, send me photos and I will post them for our hashtag days, Morgan at the DisneyNerdsPodcast.com, or just message us here on Facebook or wherever.
And thank you guys for watching us. It's great to get the questions. Jim, thanks for sticking with us. Mike, good to see you out there again. Kathy, Audie, of course. I got to find me some king cake ice cream. Those are my takeaways from tonight.
My takeaways is I should have waited to get some king cake ice cream.
I'm going to look for it because I bet I can get it on dry ice from somewhere. So thanks, Morgan. We'll see you, everybody.
All right, guys. Thanks. Have a magical night. Hakuna Matata.
What a wonderful congaloosh.